again, everybody. Farmer Pierce here. Hope everybody's having a great and wonderful day. These are mods that came out on the 2nd. I hope everybody sat there and had a wonderful Cinco de Mayo yesterday. Today is April 6th, and we're just going to jump right into this because we have about 10 mods to talk about. First up, what we have is the Krone Easy Cut F. This is a modder collaboration. 3 modders went together and made this. Lukas, Puma, and Hunter 4987. Kind of high on the slot count. It's 17 slots, to be honest. And let's go and take a look in store. It's under mowers, so we have quite a few in-game ones. This is $19,000. Minimum horsepower is 70, 13 mile an hour working speed, and it is 3.1 meters wide. It is the same as the NovaCat 301 ED. It does connect to the NovaCat X8 ED, and we have one design option. I think it's a little bit backwards because it says with swath sheet, and actually this would be the swath sheet, to be honest. If you put that option on there, it will add $2,500 to your initial cost. Even with the swath sheet enabled, you're still going to be needing to go through with a windrower and tighten that swath up to bale it or pick it up with a loading wagon. It's decent. It does what it should. Animations are real nice. Decals great. Colors, textures, everything is as it's expected in FS19 now. So let's go and drop this off over here, and we will talk about our next mod, which we have the Heizomat. The Heizo hack. But this is Heizomat. Why is it saying Heizo hack? That's weird. It's a wood chipper. It's a nice compact little unit. Does not. It won't accept the larger diameter trees like the spruce trees that we have over there to our left, but some of the smaller limbs and branches and smaller spruce or pine trees and stuff like that are easily accepted in this machine. L1 and X folds and unfolds the machine. L1 and square turns it. Oh, we have to unfold. Okay, so L1 and down on the D-pad unfolds the pipe like so. If there's any trailers nearby, it will, the pipe will automatically detect them and go towards that trailer. To turn it on and off is L1 and square. And just a little bit ago, I had a problem turning it on. Well, not turning it on, but turning it off. It would not turn off unless I shut the tractor off. Now, this does not have its own engine, so you're going to have automatic engine start disabled or turned off. And you're going to have to be able to leave the tractor running in order to keep the machine running. Let's fold this back up. Okay. Now this is by Bensterr, and it takes up 6 slots. And this is under forestry equipment. Okay, so we have the 2 in-game ones. We have this trailered one here for 88, and we also have the BA725D for 64,000. Both of these chippers accept higher diameter or bigger diameter logs. This one here, the BA725D, has its own engine, but there we go. And this one says Heizomat, but it says Heizohack on the back of it. I'm not quite sure why. It's 28,000. It requires 30 horsepower, and we do have one option available, and that is your wheel setup. We have standard and wide tires. Alright, so let's drop this off over here, get it out of our way. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about, this is the Kverneland. Let me back up to it so that everybody can see it. The Kverneland Taarup 107. Now this comes in 3 different configurations. We have the 8,000 liter, and we have the 10,000. And this one kind of concerns me a little bit. They give us a 14,000 liter tipper that only takes chaff, wood chips, and your other forage items. These other 2 will take everything. So let's jump in store. Now this is classified as an auger wagon, but unfortunately it does not have an auger to it, so it's under trailers. And we'll slide all the way across through the IT runner stuff, and it is $6,500. It does have a maximum capacity of 14,000 liters. Now what it says here at the bottom is auger wagons, also known as chaser bins, are trailers that have their own screw conveyor. There is no screw conveyor on this. I like it. It's neat. It's tidy. As you can see from outside, they do have a pin hitch here so they can connect to each other. We can change the main color. Let's go black. We can change the rim color. Let's go blue. And well, let's see, main color is an extra 1,000, rim color is 100, configuration 8,000, 10,000, and 14,000. Now the 14,000 one adds that mesh extension up there on one side and in the front. And we also have Trelleborg. Let me get around to the other side here. We have Trelleborgs, we have Nokians. I like those little studded tires. And we have a few different wheel setups for the Trelleborg brand. We have the AW305 260 70R15. We also have the T421 55R15, AW305 380R15 _3, and the T404 400 55R17 _5. And then yeah, back to the original brand or original wheel setup. Now with this, let's hook this up real quick. Okay, now if we unfold, we have the option to unfold the auger wagon. If we hit L1 and X, it drops that little foot. Okay, that you're probably thinking, what's this little foot for? If we hold R1 and we move our right joystick up and down, it extends that foot out. This is actually a support foot. it keeps your trailer from tipping over while you're tipping. So if we hold L1 and use our right joystick, it works just like our sugarcane tippers did in 17. Now, I'm not sure what okay, it works similar to the Lizard Canatran 600, the Colossus 10,000 by TT, and the Massey Ferguson 31.2, and we have the two Randon sugarcane trailers. So, and it's like I said, it's relatively cheap. It's $6,500. So if we hit L1 and X, it'll fold that little foot up, and we can just kind of drive away with it. So let's drop these over here, like so, and we will talk about our next trailer. And just in case I did not mention who the modder was, which I didn't do, the Kverneland Taarup 107 is by no.naim LSMC. I don't know the exact number of slots that it uses up. I kind of have too many of them and can't go to the garage to find out. So we have the Lizard GP 140 SPBK. This is by Pepe 978, and it takes 8 slots. Now this this trailer here is a low loader. If we hit L1 and X, it'll fold up this back ramp, lower the table, and we can drive away. To unfold and lower the ramp, just hit L1 and X again, and we can drive our equipment on and off. Now it's quite narrow, so you're not gonna get like a forage harvester on here if that idea has run through your mind. So let's fold this up. The decals are great. We have dynamic hoses, etc. There's a few paint chips where, you know, the paint has been wore off from being a low loader, and it's like around here on the back. Oops. You can see, you know, some of the paint chips where the low loaders hit the ground and gotten all scuffed up. Does have reverse lights, turn signals, brake lamps, etc. Does not have a beacon though. Yep. You got some warning triangles there, license plate, and with this being a low loader, it does not have straps. Alright, so now to talk about our other, I'll go into, before I hook up to this and get involved in it, we're going to go in store under low loaders before I get too far ahead of myself here. And the low loader is 8,900. Like I said, it does take up 8 slots, and we do have some options. We have rim color that we can change. We can change it to green. Then we have our design color. Now, changing this in this configuration isn't changing the color of anything. We jump down here to our design, and we have low loader without support, and then we have the little support there on the front, which I'm going to call an internal or a what's that word am I looking for? it's got its own headache rack. Let's just put it this way. So that way nothing like if you have to stop all of a sudden, nothing's going to come flying forward on you and hit your tractor. And so now the bale trailer. This also has dynamic hoses. It does have straps, as you can see there. One thing I do like about this trailer is you have these little D-rings right here. That's a good indicator where your straps are going to be located, like so. And this little trailer, of course, has a trick up its sleeve. Take the straps off. As you can see, it's an auto load trailer. I still can't figure out why it dumps the bales off to the side like that, but if you hold L1 and we move our right joystick up and down and around, we can move the bales wherever we want. Now, if anybody's familiar with FS17 and we had the auto load trailer pack, that trailer worked the same way, or this trailer works the same way that that one did. But that one held 24 bales for square, 32 for round. This one is 24 for square. Or no, not 24 for square, 18 for square, and 22 for round. Excuse me. So if we hold, let's turn our help window on here real quick. This is going to be the longest demonstration here, because if we, after we pick our bales up in the operating position, okay, it loads them like that. Let's take our straps off. And we use L1 and our right joystick. We can move these bales. We can actually stack two of them on top of each other if we wanted to. We can move them around on either side of the trailer, like so. And if you want to be realistic and use your straps on the trailer, you're going to have to put it in the transporting position, and you're also going to have to unload your bales onto the trailer, because as you can see, we have our straps enabled, but they're not going over the load. So if we hit L1 in triangle, that'll go unload bales, and then we hit it again, it goes unload bales here, it drops them right down on the trailer, and then we can hit R1 and R3 and strap our load. You can also strap your load individually if you want. Like if you only want one strap holding your bales down instead of all of them, you can do that, just like so. You know, maybe just do the center ratchet strap or whatever, just like that. And then you're gonna, before you can put it back into the operating position, you're gonna have to put it in lower platform, and then we can go back into and hit L1 and square, which puts it back into the operating position, and then we can put our bales wherever we want, and they stack them up nice and neat. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the other auto load trailer did them sideways. This one puts them up on their, I mean, it puts them on their side like this. The other ones flipped them over so that this large flat part was actually laying down instead of being vertical like this. So that is the auto load trailer. getting into, oh, sorry. Like I said, I'm getting ahead of myself. There's a lot to talk about, and I'm limited on time. We had the Adirante auto load bale trailers come to us early in the first part of the game. The round baler holds 36 and the square holds 24. The only drawback to this, or two drawbacks to this, is it has the swinging front axle, and when you unload the bales, it tips them up, tips them back, and just knocks them off the trailer, which means you have to go back through, pick them up with a front loader or a skid steer and stack them yourself. Now that we have this trailer, it's $8,900, just like the low loader, and we have the same color and design options as the previous trailer, but we do have the design option of manual loading or auto load. Auto load will cost you an extra $500. Not a bad price to pay extra for just driving around and not having to worry about loading your bales. To me, it's kind of a no-brainer. And this is the square bale. This one's 18, round bale's 22. Same options as the other previous trailer. And here we have the Joskin Transpace 8027. This is by STv-Modding. It is 9 slots. When I did my map tour on Farming Legend, they give you a Joskin Transpace. And I could have swore that that had a trailer hitch on the back of it. But, whoops, this one does not. It is weird. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, well, we've already got a Joskin Transpace in-game. Yeah, well, we do. It's under trailers. It is the same price, same capacity. And the only thing that we could do with this was change the wheel brand. With the new one, and I'm sure a lot of people have already messed around with these mods and they're familiar with what they do, but I'm trying to get caught up. So if we go in here, it's $35,000. We can change the main color, which changes your chassis. We'll go yellow. And then we can change our rim color to any color we want. And then we have our design color. We'll do that black. So as far as wheel brand, we have Nokians, which I ended up changing prematurely. And we have our Trelleborgs, and we have our Michelins. Between these, the Trelleborgs and Michelins, we have standard and wides. Trelleborgs, we have standard and wide tires. This does have tip side back and tip side grain door function, turn signals, stop lamps, reverse lights, etc. We have dynamic hoses, which is cool. So you have hoses that go from the trailer to your tractor, and I don't quite remember these anti-sway bars on the other one, but it might be just something I overlooked. So that's the Joskin Transpace 8000 by STv-Modding. The next thing that we're going to take a look at is the slurry container. Now this is a hook lift type container. It is going to be required that you use either a hook lift truck or the Palfinger IT runner trailer in the 3-axle and the ITR2633HD triaxle trailer. The 2623 HD is not recommended. You will have some issues. It looks good. To be honest, it could use a few more dents and scrapes and stuff like that, considering it being a hook lift, those rollers and stuff like that. But that's beside the point. It is under slurry tanks. So let's go in here in store and take a look. Now we have some slurry tanks, you know, a field container. We have the Garant FRC for $25,000. This is basically its own trailer. It's got a hitch and wheels, and you transport it from your farm out to the field, drop it off, and then you can come through with your slurry spreader and refill your spreader from this container. This one does digestate and slurry, and it's 55,000 liters. Then you have your slurry transport, and then we have numerous slurry tanks and spreaders. These are all spreaders. Now, I'm wondering, just real quick, I don't know if you could use this without the attachment on the back and use it as a transport container. I have not tried, but here we have IT Runner slurry field container for $8,000. That's 31,000 liters. Now these two slurry containers are actually spreaders. Here we have our slurry container for $34,000. Like I said, it requires the ITR 2633 HD or the truck itself. Now we can change the main color to any one of these colors we choose. I feel like going crazy. Now the main color choice, if you choose to change your main color, excuse me, it will add an extra $1,000 to your initial cost. Now over here, what do I do with the tractor? There it is. Alright, let's grab the tractor here real quick. Drop that off. Now I have a small Garant slurry spreader here. So if you choose to use the truck and you want to play in a realistic narrative type setting, you would take this container, pick it up at your farm empty, take it out to your field, then you would take like a semi tanker, fill up your slurry and run it out to the field, overload it into the container, and then you can come along with your slurry spreader, pull up next to it, and start filling. Okay, while that's filling up, I'll come over here. We'll jump in the passenger side. Now this has digestate in it, and we can hit R1 and triangle to start overloading, and it will unload your slurry or digestate right into the tank. Now you can use these tanks as interim storage. You could put 3 or 4 or 5 of them side by side and next to your slurry pit, and that would increase your storage capacity for slurry, so on and so forth. Okay, so now that is empty. And this slurry container is by NicoPix, and I don't have a current slot count on that. So That is your slurry container. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to talk about is the cow barn. And this is by Moechtegembauer. This is 12 slots. It does have a lot of interactive function. This modder also brought us just recently the outdoor climate pigsty. Now this is where your milk, I want to say milk will spawn. It's just it's habit. You would collect your milk here, and if we work around this way, we have a door that opens. Okay, and then it's the other side. This is where I believe your straw goes. No. This is feed right here. This is where your food goes. And we open up this door. I like the sound effects. The wood grain. It's kind of a knotty, highly knotty pine. And then we come over here. This door also opens. Hello, Mr. Cow. And here is our animal dialog box where we can buy, sell directly, or load and unload our transported animals. Now up here we have a spot for our straw. Now I do like this. It's great. We have some weird sound effects on the gates. I just call them chain driven. kind of sounds like the sound effect on the composite machine shed, but anyway, this door does open and close. We have our milk tank here, but we have a little surprise. Now if you look out these windows right over there, this has retractable windbreak netting. So if we hit our circle button, it'll drop those wind screens down. And if we hit it again, we can raise them up, which I think is really cool. A neat little feature. Let's see, I believe it's at this end here. This is where your water goes, and at the other end down there is your slurry and manure pit areas. You have your manure here, and then where is the slurry? Oh, it's over here. My bad. There it is. This is where your slurry would collect. And that is the cow barn by I always have a hard time pronouncing this. Moechtegembauer. And just to let you know, this is under placeables. It's under animal pens, and it's not a bad price. It's $150,000, holds 200 cows. Now, looking at our the in-game large cow pasture, holds 200 cows, but it's 2 times more. I can get 400. I could get 2 of these new cow barns and get 400 cows for the same price as one large cow pasture. So there's a no-brainer right there. Let's see. That's 13 slots, and this is only 12. Yeah. Now, when you go to place this, I thought, okay, my bad. At first I thought it wasn't going to turn on a radius like this. I thought it was just kind of like going to snap into place. It's been quite some time since I've placed all this stuff down. But you still are going to get into some extra costs based on, you know, land terraforming and land manipulation. So pay close attention to that. So the flatter you put it, the closer to $150,000 you're going to spend. The next thing that we're going to take a look at is a shed, and that's by Gamerhzs, Gamerhzs, and this will take up 5 slots. We'll go into shed since we're right here. There's Jim's stuff. It is a placeable shed for $12,500. Has a maintenance cost of $5 per day. And that is right over here. And as soon as we get done talking about the shed, we are going to talk about our next placeable. Now this side of the shed is open on 2 sides. We have, well, you could really park 2 large vehicles here side by side, and then have this end space here to park vehicles side by side, going across the front of that. And then we have a little archway here. This is open on one side to get longer vehicles in. Now I don't know if anything will fit through here or not. If it does, it's going to be extremely narrow. Now the textures look really good. I like the brick. It has a weathered look to it. You can see some pitting and stuff inside of the steel cross beams up there. So it's not a brand new shed. It looks like it's been out in the weather for about 10 to 15 decades, but maybe 10 to 15 years, but 10 to 15 decades would be like 150. So yeah. So yeah, that is your shed. Next thing we're going to quickly talk about is this little workshop. It's nice. I like the stucco effect, and we have some vines growing up here on the side. This is not interactive except for being able to repair and customize your vehicles. So this does not open. There's no lights or anything like that. It's just a little decorative object that has a workshop trigger. This is 6 slots, and it's by MoosAgrar, and that is found in miscellaneous. Scroll across, and this garage is $3,000 to place. $1 a day maintenance, that's not bad. Our in-game workshop is $28,000 and does basically the same thing. It might not look as good, but I would rather spend $3,000 than $28,000 any day for the basically the same thing that works exactly the same way. And our last placeable, and the last thing that we are going to talk about, is this solar, what is it called? It's a solar plant. And this is by ShabaFS. It is 19 slots. And we have one opening and closing gate. ShabaFS does a decent job at this. I mean, the rust and stuff on the gate hinges and on the gate itself, awesome. And this is basically just a solar array of panels. Okay, so that meter doesn't display anything. Okay, so this is under miscellaneous also. It's $120,000. It will generate $560 per hour in easy mode, which is what I have this set on currently. And I don't have the other solar panels or the wind turbine selected, so I can't really do a comparison. Keep in mind when you go to place this, I had some serious frame rate drop when I was moving the thing side to side. So if you're going to place this, make sure that you save your game before you place this down in case of game crashes. It's not just because it's right there next to, but you can see how slow this is actually turning. Turning it this way, it's not too bad. It's just moving it side to side, and then the camera and stuff, you're gonna have some frame rate issues. So that is all of our mods. We did have an update to the Placeable Storage Silo. I don't know if I have that installed or selected at... Yes, I do. I'm going to throw a screenshot up here in just a couple minutes to show you at night some of the different things that you cannot see during the day. The update included corrected description, increased silo height, added red nightlight for anti-collision, adjusted the occlusion area, added collision to gate of unloading area, and the silo light intensity was also increased. The red light is at the top of the rusty old silo, just to give you an idea where the actual light is. So I'm going to put that screenshot up now. Alright, so like I said, I do apologize for getting this out so late. Scheduling and you know, just a few other issues and stuff like that do keep me from getting these things out in a timely fashion, but I do appreciate everybody hanging out with me today and going through all these mods, even though they're kind of old. a couple days old, actually. So if you found this useful and informative, hey, hit that like button. If you'd like to leave a comment, suggestion, or a question, leave it down in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed yet, hey, please do. I enjoy hanging out with all you guys and bringing forth my knowledge that I do have. But so, with that all being said, I hope you all have a great and wonderful day. Like I said, I do appreciate you hanging out with me. If you'd like to order a Farmer Pierce t-shirt, there is a website listed in the description, and along with the end of this video, there's also going to be not a link, but the website address will be displayed. So, with that being said, like I said, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Y'all have a great day. Happy farming.
RenderForest.com